So you're thinking about moving to Gwinnett County, Georgia? Hold up. There's a few things you need to know. Gwinnett isn't just another Atlanta suburb. It's actually one of the fastest growing and most popular counties in the state of Georgia, packed with diverse neighborhoods, fun things to do, and top-rated schools. I'm Sarah. I'm a mom of 3, a resident of Gwinnett County, and a realtor helping families all over Metro Atlanta find a place to call home. Today we're breaking down the real deal of living in Gwinnett County, the pros, the cons, where to go, places to eat, and of course how much it actually costs to live here. Let's get into it. Gwinnett County is about 30 minutes northeast of Atlanta, but truthfully, traffic can make that a lot longer. It's the second most populated county in Georgia with over 1 million residents. It was named for Button Gwinnett, who was a signer of the Declaration of Independence. Gwinnett spans over 437 square miles, and it's the most ethnically diverse county in Georgia. Why do people move here? Affordability compared to Atlanta, top-rated schools, and a suburban feel with easy city access. It's diverse culturally and ethnically. There are tons of things to do, and it's full of opportunities for families, professionals, and retirees. I moved to Gwinnett County shortly after starting a family with my husband. We both grew up in Cobb County, the northwest side of Metro Atlanta. Neither one of us had ever really explored Gwinnett County until we got married. It felt like a whole other world. We actually went to Chateau Alon on our very first wedding anniversary and drove up Interstate 85 for one of the first times together. Then we bought our first house together in Gwinnett County and have laid down roots here. Some of our family have even crossed interstates and joined us here on the northeast side of Metro Atlanta. Truthfully though, there is not a big difference between the northeast and the northwest Metro Atlanta areas. They are both culturally diverse and very suburban feeling. Both have transplants from all over the world. It is more rare to find someone who was born and raised in Gwinnett than it is to find someone who moved here from somewhere else. The weather in Georgia is bipolar. This year it snowed in Metro Atlanta twice in a month. That must be some kind of record. But the running joke is that you may have snow on Monday and by Friday it's in the 70s. Winters can be mild or cold. There have been some winters I never wore a jacket and others where I never took one off. And we don't know how to drive in the snow, so don't make fun of us when the whole city shuts down for just a ½ inch of snow. The snow becomes ice and it can shut down the whole city. If you don't believe me, just Google Snowmageddon of 2014. If you are from up north, you'll chuckle. Spring is typically rainy, but it's beautiful. And summers are just plain hot. You'll want to be close to some sort of water, so like the neighborhood pool, Lake Lanier, some kind of body of water. You'll find a lot of people escaping to the lake to play on the water. Fall is so pleasant and is also beautiful. We're close to the North Georgia mountains here, so it's especially nice to head there during the fall season. The leaves changing colors, it sounds boring, but it's awesome. Home prices will vary widely depending on the city, but expect $400,000 to $700,000 for a single family home in sought after areas like Suwanee, Duluth, or Buford. There are new construction homes popping up all over, especially in Lawrenceville and Loganville. You can also find townhomes and condos in the $300,000 to $500,000 price range. That would be ideal for someone who prefers lower maintenance. I find that people relocating from the north or from out west are pleasantly surprised by the home prices here. But locals often complain about how much home prices have gone up in such a short period of time. During the housing boom of 2020 until now, we've seen almost a 70% increase in the average home price. Property taxes are higher than some of the other parts of Georgia, but you are paying for the top schools and amenities. When people are moving from other states, I always recommend you come for an exploration trip. Check out different suburbs, drive through towns, and get a feel for the communities. Each city has its own thing, and there's a lot of overlap between towns. If you're curious about certain cities in Gwinnett and what homes look like here, you can check out my free download, The Locals Guide to Living in the North Atlanta Suburbs. It has my favorite neighborhoods in all my favorite cities around North Metro Atlanta, including a couple here in Gwinnett. Schools are a big draw to Gwinnett County. Gwinnett County Public Schools is the largest school system in Georgia and is consistently ranked among the best in the state and the nation. Top-rated schools include Gwinnett School of Mathematics, Science, and Technology, North Gwinnett, Brookwood, and Mill Creek High School. Buford City Schools always ranks high too, but Buford actually has its own school district. If schools are a priority for your move, it's important to move within your desired school district. I can help you find the best neighborhoods to match your needs. One of my favorite websites to point people to when shopping for schools is right on the Gwinnett County Schools website. The school profiles show you how each school ranks to Gwinnett County as a whole versus the state of Georgia. There's also a breakdown of test scores, graduation rates, and survey results from the parents and students about their views of the school. There's a common fear that when you move out of the city, there won't be things to do, and you'll get bored living in the suburbs, but I beg to differ. Gwinnett County has tons of green space. There are 51 different parks in Gwinnett, and honestly, some of the most beautifully maintained parks I've ever seen. My favorite is Little Mulberry Park, but Tribble Mill is wonderful and so is Harbin's. For shopping and dining, the Mall of Georgia and the Exchange at Gwinnett and Buford are great options. Downtown Duluth is also a big foodie scene, and the Forum and Peachtree Corners has a lot of outdoor shopping options. Gas South Arena in Duluth brings concerts and entertainment into town. There are also lots of family-friendly activities. The Gwinnett Stripers play at Coolray Field in Lawrenceville. Now that's the minor league baseball team of the Atlanta Braves. Gwinnett Environmental Center is a great place to take kids, and there are tons of local community events in all of the individual downtown areas. Medieval Times is always a fun dinner show. Treetop Quest is an obstacle in the trees for the adventurers. And for nightlife, there are fun breweries popping up. Swanee has a cool one called Stillfire Brewing, and Buford just opened up 2 new ones. There's Meander Brewing and Elixir Brew. Another big draw is the Metro Atlanta job market. More companies are moving into the Atlanta area, including Gwinnett, especially in tech, healthcare, and logistics. Many people work in Atlanta but live in the outside suburbs like Gwinnett County, which means dealing with Interstate 85 traffic. Expect a 45-minute drive to Midtown or Buckhead without traffic. It will be longer during peak hours. And peak hours are like Monday through Friday, starting 6:30-ish, 7 in the morning until 9:30. And again in the afternoons between 3 to 6. Fridays tend to be busy all day. And whenever there are events in downtown Atlanta like Falcons games, Hawks games, concerts, you name it, you will notice an uptick in traffic. And of course, there are construction projects that can cause delays too. Some of the downsides, well, there's traffic, like we talked about. Traffic's a major complaint, and Gwinnett is growing fast. The infrastructure is having a hard time catching up. Also, the suburban sprawl means that you will need a car to get almost anywhere. Most areas lack walkability, but that is changing a little bit with more mixed-use developments popping up. Some cities are pricier than others. Buford and Swanee, for example, tend to have higher price tags. Also, Atlanta does not have good public transportation services like other major cities. MARTA is our version of mass public transit, but it's closer into Atlanta. It is no subway system, but it's something. Every once in a while, there is a vote to expand MARTA's trains further outside of Atlanta and into the suburbs, and it's consistently voted down. The closest MARTA train station to Gwinnett is in Doraville. Although there are no trains in Gwinnett, there are a couple of park and ride buses that you can hop on to get into the city. Just do not expect what other big cities have. It is not the same. And if you're driving along Interstate 85, the left lane is reserved for Peach Pass holders. The pass itself is free. You link your account to a credit card, so whenever you hop in that lane, that's when you're charged. So even if you're not planning to use it, I always recommend that you just get the pass, just in case you run into major traffic and need to scoot on down the interstate. If you want top-rated schools, a strong sense of community, and more space for your money outside of Atlanta, Gwinnett is a fantastic option. If you're looking for more walkability or a short commute to the city, you may want to consider other areas. And if you need help deciding, I work with families relocating to Gwinnett all the time, and I'd love to help you find the perfect home. That pretty much wraps up everything you need to know about living in Gwinnett County. If you're moving to the area and need help finding the perfect home, feel free to reach out. I'd love to help. And don't forget to grab my free locals guide to living in the North Atlanta suburbs. The link is in the description. Hit that like button and subscribe for more content about the North Atlanta suburbs.